Good morning, everybody. On this Friday morning, I'm coming to you a little bit late. I actually didn't get my hair dried, but hi, everybody. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Kimberly. It's good to see you all. Well, guess what? The world is on fire. Fire. Um, some of us were expecting this. Some of us were already preparing for this, but and here's my little golden doodle barking at everybody who walks by in the park. Come here, buddy. Um, yeah, so the world's on fire. We There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on out in the collective. Boundaries of countries are being changed. Alliances are being changed and shifted. There is huge amounts of transformation for good or bad. But I feel like we need to really center ourselves and really choose a path of heart to be very grounded within our knowing and our truths and not get pulled off center by everything else that is going on in the world. That has been my message all the way through COVID and through this period of time as well. Now, I follow the patterns. I'm a traditional Chinese practitioner, veterinary practitioner, and I've always followed what is called the Wu Qing, the 5 elements or 5 phases. When I first learned about those, long before I even went to veterinary school, I read a book called The Web That Has No Weaver by Ted Kapchuk. He was one of the very first practitioners to go to China and study and then bring the practice over as an English speaker. Um, and when I saw the information about the 5 elements, I gravitated to it and grasped a hold of it and said, "This is telling us how the universe works, a map of the energies and how to surf the waves of these quantum energies and quantum changes." Okay, so right now we are in wood element season of spring, but the world is literally on fire. Now, fire is the element in the summertime. We haven't quite even made it into summer yet. But when we look at the overarching astrology, first of all, is a big part of Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, has tried to become more westernized and more scienticized. They want to go back and prove everything with Western science in order to be accepted by Western science. But at its roots, the movement of the stars and the sun and the moon and the planets were all part of Chinese medicine. So I studied with a practitioner who looks at the overall year from a Chinese medical perspective. And this is a year with lots of fire and water. And it's the balance between fire, which is having to do with spirit and sits in our heart centers, in our hearts, and water, which is in what we call the lower jiao in the kidneys that holds the life essence, the life force energy. And it's like a seesaw between water and fire. And we're going to be balancing these out every year. So the more over this year, so the more you can stay grounded, the more you can stay living from your heart, the better off it will be. And a simple meditation grounding exercise that I've used for over 20 years is to sit with my feet flat on the ground, my spine straight, one hand on my heart center and one hand on my belly just below the belly button. And just lower your eyelids. You don't have to close them all the way. And just take some big deep breaths, feeling your breath breathing in through the nostrils, feeling your chest expand, and then bringing the breath all the way down to your belly and allowing your belly to expand as well. And then releasing the breath and breathing out through your mouth. So you lower your eyes, and if you want to do this with me right now, I think it would be really nice. Put a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Breathe in through your nose, feel your chest expand, feel your belly expand, and then let the air out through your mouth, maybe with a big sigh. We'll do this one more time. So in through your nose, feeling your heart expand, feeling your belly expand, and then breathe out through your mouth with a big sigh. And just before you open your eyes, just feel your body, feel the chairs supporting you, feel the ground underneath your feet, feel your head stretching up to the heavens. There might be some sun shining on you. If there is, all the better. And then gradually flutter your eyes open and feel this state of groundedness and centeredness from which we can live. Right now, in Western astrology, there are 7 planets in the sign of Aries. Aries is the sign of war. Aries is the sign of taking action and asking questions later. Aries is the sign of the warrior, of the stepping off the cliff into the great unknown, but by God, we're going to do it. Okay. So it's a very powerful, potent energy. It's the energy of rebirth in the springtime, of that seed that's been tucked away in that little seed pod all winter long. And all of a sudden, it starts feeling the warmth and moisture, and something stirs inside of it. And there's warmth and moisture coming from above. And all of a sudden, it breaks free, and this cotyledon seedling pushes its way all the way up through the soil and pops out through the earth. Now, if you guys have any daffodils or tulips blooming, bulbs are a perfect example of this. And it's Easter weekend this weekend. So Easter Christianity came on rather late beyond a lot of other religious and spiritual practices. So they understood the resurrection of spring. If you want to read more about the resurrection in ancient times from other traditions, I shared a really good article on my Substack page. But so we're in this bursting forth kind of energy. Now, regardless of what's going on in the outer world, honestly, I really ask you to just know what's happening, but turn off the news, like take a glimpse behind the curtain and then say, okay, whatever. Look outside your window. Go outside and take a walk in your back park or around your neighborhood with your dog and really look around and see everything we have to be grateful of. We have electricity. We have roofs over our heads. Almost, I'm sure all of us on this page right now. We have food in the refrigerator. We have clean water we can drink if we have to out of a faucet, or most of us have incredible water filters to get healthy water. When we have all those bases covered, we are covered, you guys. So we need to remember that. And we can take this Aries spring energy and we can use it to give birth to something in our lives, whether it's a new start, a new beginning, whether it's a new project, whether we just want to start a new habit. We want to say, read an actual book for 15 minutes a day. Okay. So I implore you to take a hold of this energy and do that. Now, I'm going to be busy this year working on a project that hopefully is going to develop into a book about these topics. Living according to the buddy, come here. Living according to the Wu Ching, living according to the seasons. And that was what the ancient Chinese, their secret was to living a long life. Now, I'm going to let him out quickly. Come on, you want to go outside? We have a lot of wind blowing and it's big allergy season here right now. So I have I've had a small meditation group going once a week for quite a while, and it was a pretty good cohesive circle. But it helps when you have a marker during the week or in time. It helps you to ground and center and track time forward. So, what has helped me over the years and really helped me stay on track and stay strong in my center and in my core and in my truth and in my heart was to follow the cycles of both the moon and the sun. Now, the lunar cycles happen every month. There's 13 new moons every year, and the Chinese follow these this calendar, and most traditional peoples around the world follow this calendar. So at the time of the new moon, it's a time where right before the new moon, the sky gets dark and we go internally and go into our womb spaces and into our caves, and we decide what our intention is going to be for the coming months, what our personal intention is going to be for the coming month. And then that intention is sprouted like a seed at the new moon, just like the seed I'm talking about in springtime. And that seed grows and becomes full at the full moon. And then it actually fruits and comes to fruition at the full moon. And then that dies off, and we start all over again, going back into a new moon, back to a full moon. So that's the monthly lunar cycle. The solar calendar is when the has to do with the position of the sun and the moon and the tilt of the earth that gives us the seasons, whether we're talking spring, the summer, fall, or winter. So that is combined and laid on top of the lunar cycle. So my new program I'm launching, it's launching April 17th, you guys, on the new moon in Aries. That may be a really hectic week end and time period for the world. I would not be surprised if the bombs don't continue to keep detonating. But we're going to meet every month for a new moon circle and a full moon circle. I'm going to decide this week whether it's going to be the same day every week, which I think same day every 2 weeks, which I think that might be the easiest because we're also working with a mundane Gregorian calendar and we all have lives and work schedules. So it may be easiest for everybody to schedule it at that time. But it's going to be, if not directly on the new moon and full moon, it's going to be close to the new moon and full moon. And we're going to look at our each individual charts. If you know the charts of your animals, we can look at their birth time and date. We can look at their charts. And each one of us, depending upon what time of day we were born, will have different themes happening every month. So some months of the year, you're going to be really active and you're going to be wanting to be out, socializing, doing projects, be out in the world. And then there's other times of the year, months, when you get really quiet and you just want to hang out at home. So we're going to look at our individual charts and find out when those times are so that we can set our intentions for the new moon and work with those. And then we're going to come back and get together at the full moon and share in the circle and talk about what's been going on and even looking at our animals. So this has to do with not only our lives, but it has to do with the lives of our whole households and everybody we share our households with, animals and people. Um, it can have to do with health issues as well. So if you are interested in doing that, we're going to track these over the next 12 months. I have tried to keep it as low as possible, and yet I do need to pay for my time. I do not sell products to people. I sell my wisdom, experience, and knowledge and time. So that is why my groups may be a little bit more than some other groups, but it's an intimate circle. And I think you're gonna get a lot out of it, and it's gonna be I think of it as time set aside for me, so then I can go out in the world and help others, and I think most people who are probably turning in here are caregivers, and we give a lot to, our animals and the other people in our life, and sometimes we need time to just settle in and find out where we are, what we need, and how we can give that to ourselves. So if you're interested in doing such a thing, you can find the link on my Substack site. I will put it in the messages of this video when I put up the recording. And you're more than welcome to join me. I would like everybody to join on the 17th. If you can't and you want to join later, you can definitely do that. This is not a time to come in and chat, so to speak. It's not a social chat circle. We are going to be focused on doing some work, doing some meditation, and doing some internal work. It's not like a Facebook chat group. Okay. So if you're looking for something more social than that, you can find that plenty of those spaces out there. But I would love all of you to come join. If you can only do it for part of the year and you want to do it for a couple months and then drop out, that's fine as well. I'm leaving it kind of open ended. We're in some of the most transformational times we could ever ask to live through, you guys. The things that are happening right now in the sky, the alignments that are going on have never been seen before. I know astrologers that have looked at this stuff going back 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years, and it's never happened before like it is right now. So we all chose as souls to come into this time and live right now. And it's a really, really potent time to change our own consciousness and to change our evolutionary path and really make some progress personally, deeply. So, I would love to have you there if that's what you are interested in doing, or just interested in learning more, or you just want to take a half an hour out of the day twice a month and just meditate with a group of people. That is fine as well. I love people to come on and share, and it's going to be on Zoom. If you don't want to share and if you just want to hang out in the shadows and just listen, you are more than welcome to do that as well. Again, we're gonna be April is gonna be a rough month. July is going to be a very special month as well. There is an alignment happening in July that is actually a hexagram, a six-pointed star forming in the heavens that that a lot of people have been talking about, and they have not seen this formation before. But a six-pointed star is divine energy, and in some traditions, it's the heart energy, it's the Christ consciousness coming through, it's the divine consciousness coming through to help us. So if we can be open and centered and connected to the earth, the better off we're going to be. And my whole theory at this point, our domestic animals have taken up such a role in our lives right now. I feel like they are the pointers, they are the way showers for us to get back in contact with the earthly cycles, with nature's rhythms. And the most basic rhythm of all of these is the rhythm of the sun and the rhythm of the moon. The sun is the yang energy and the moon is the yin energy. And they dance in that dance between yang and yin. Okay, so that's where we're going to go, to just something really, really basic, but something that is unchanging, so that we can find that little core of certainty and solidity in our lives while everything around us changes in ways that we have yet to understand right now. So, anyways, I love you now. Thank you, Becky. I love you so much. And we will stay in touch, I'm sure. And just take a look at my Substack and see if you would like to sign up or not. If you have any questions, you can always direct message me here on Substack. I'm on Facebook Messenger, and you can send me questions and things like that on there. But I would love you to come if you're interested in finding some peace and finding some solace and working with me. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a beautiful weekend. It is the weekend of the spring and the rebirth energies. So enjoy yourselves. Take some time out with your dogs and your loved ones. We'll talk to you soon.